Hello everyone, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 and welcome to a very special edition of the Progressive Rock and Metal album review series. And today I'm going to be taking a look at the very long and very impressive catalogue from one of the most legendary and iconic supergroups of all time, the one and only Asia, and this is the fourth and final part of a special review to commemorate the 40th anniversary of the band. So in part one, I talked about the catalogue of albums from 1981 to 1990. And in part two, I talked about the catalogue of albums from 1991 to 2004. And in part three, I talked about the catalogue of albums from 2006 to 2012. And for today's fourth and final part, I am going to be talking about the catalogue of albums from 2013 to 2014, which features the final ever recording of Asia. So, in 2006, as we all know, Asia reunited with the original and classic lineup of John Wetton, Geoff Downes, Steve Howe, and Carl Palmer, and they would go on to record not only a tremendous trilogy of albums, but a whole series of CD, DVD live releases. And after their final recording in 2012, which was Triple X, Steve Howe decided to leave Asia and concentrate on not only his solo career, but Yes as well. So John Wetton, Geoff Downes, and Carl Palmer would not only continue as a band, but they would also introduce young Sam Coulson as the newest addition to the band as a full-time member of Asia. So Asia would release their next studio album, which would turn out to be their final recording as a band, and this came out in 2014, and this is Gravitas. So Gravitas is still the classic lineup of John Wetton, Geoff Downes, and Carl Palmer, and the newest member, guitarist Sam Coulson. And I always feel that whenever Steve Howe leaves the band, I always feel that Asia always try just a little bit harder to make the best album possible, because it really shows you what a difference a change in lineup, especially with a guitarist the caliber of Steve Howe. But Sam Coulson, to his credit, doesn't try to emulate Steve Howe. He is very much his own man, and he done a tremendous job on Gravitas. And this album featured some great songs, some great material written by Wetton and Downes. And to me, you know, this was perhaps what turned out to be a fitting and final chapter for the band, which I'm going to be talking about in a moment. But I went to this tour with my dad and my uncle, and for me, it was quite possibly the best Asia show I've ever been to. The band sounded fantastic. Geoff Downes sounded incredible as always on keyboards. Carl Palmer was a machine on drums. Sam Coulson done an excellent job on guitar, and John Wetton, to me, I don't think he ever sounded as good musically as he did vocally then that night. He just sounded absolutely fantastic, and it was almost like John Wetton went back to 1985 and just came to 2014. It was just unbelievable show, 3 hours straight of just pure excellence, and it was, as I said, quite possibly the best Asia show I've ever been to. So Valkyrie, we've got the title track, Valkyrie, Gravitas, The Closer I Get to You, Nicotophobia, Russian Dolls, Heaven Help Me Now, I Would Die For You, Joe DiMaggio's Glove, Till We Meet Again, and we've got two acoustic bonus tracks, The Closer I Get to You and Joe DiMaggio's Glove. So an excellent collection of songs, and to me, I think Asia really went out on a real high here with this album. It's just fantastic. So we're going to have a quick look. I like how it's pretty much a homage to the first album cover. Look at that. Brilliant. So there's some sleeve notes from John Wetton. There's some lyrics. There's the old classic eyes there. There's some more lyrics. It's a beautiful picture there of the metal dragon. There you go. Excellent. And there you go. So, great strong album. And I would say the reunion, and if you add this as well, unbelievable collection of music. You just can't go wrong, really. The first two albums, especially the first one, is considered a classic, but I think Asia this time round definitely much more mature and definitely a lot more sophisticated in their music, their writing, their playing, and they just grew as musicians. And Sam Coulson, although not much of a star compared to the other three, he fits in very well. And as I said, he just done an amazing job on guitars. Doesn't try to be Steve Howe. Not many people could or have tried to. He's very much his own man, and he just done his job, and he did a very good job as well. So the standout tracks for me are Valkyrie, which is just a very good, strong opener with haunting harmonies from Wetton, Downs. Valkyrie is very epic, very patriotic, just a really good opener. Gravitas is a great track as well. Till We Meet Again, it's just classic Wetton. Goes, till we meet again. It's just absolutely brilliant. Russian Dolls is beautiful. I Would Die For You. It's just a really good collection of songs, and all of the compositions written and composed by Wetton and Downs, and it's just a fantastic album. And unfortunately, this is the only album this lineup would record together. There is a live album as well where they recorded with the orchestra, which is really good, and that's got a DVD as well. Highly recommend you check that out. It's a really good show. But officially, as a band in the studio, this would be the final studio recording of Asia, and it's a fitting final chapter for, in my opinion, one of the most legendary and iconic supergroups of all time. Lots of different lineup changes along the way, but I think that's what makes the Asia story so special, because there's so many different twists and turns, but again, we got back to how we started, and that's with John Wetton, Geoff Downes, Carl Palmer, and Steve Howe. Even though Steve Howe doesn't play on this, Sam Coulson is a welcome addition to the family tree of Asia, and he done an excellent job. So, as I said, this would turn out to be the final studio recording of Asia, and the reason for that is because after the tour was finished, John Wetton was diagnosed with cancer, and we would sadly lose him on January 31st, 2017, which was a very sad day and a tremendous loss, because, in my opinion, John Wetton is not only one of the greatest bass players of all time, but he's one of the true iconic voices of the progressive rock genre. And I definitely put him up there with Greg Lake and John Anderson. He's just got such a distinct sound on the vocals. And when you hear him sing, you know straight away it's him. So this album here, Gravitas, is the final chapter in the Asia career of John Wetton. It's just a beautiful high note to go out on. So, even though we sadly lost John Wetton, we would get Billy Sherwood. He would come in to replace John Wetton. Now, Billy Sherwood, great multi-instrumentalist and bass player from Yes, who's also played with Geoff Downes, and they're currently in the same band together. So he would complete most of the tour in honour of John Wetton, and he did an excellent job. And after that, there would be no more activity from Asia for a really long time. And they would do a couple of special shows with Ron Bumblefoot Fowl from Sons of Apollo and Guns N' Roses. And he was credited as an official member of the band. But they didn't record any material. They just did a couple of live special shows. And he did a great job singing the Wetton material. And now, fast forward to now in 2022, Downes and Palmer are back together, and Billy Sherwood's back on bass, and we've got the addition of guitarist and vocalist Mark Binilla, who's played with Keith Emerson Band, and Glenn Hughes, great musician, great guitar player, and great singer. So he's coming in to do the 40th anniversary tour for Asia, so I know he's going to do an excellent job. So that's going to be it from me. I am going to wrap this up now. What's your favourite track from Gravitas? Is it Valkyrie, the title track, The Closer I Get to You, Nyctophobia, Russian Dolls, Heaven Help Me Now, I Would Die for You, Dig Maggio's Glove, Till We Meet Again, or the two bonus acoustic tracks? There's no right or wrong answer. We all have our favourite tracks. You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Progressive Rock and Metal Album Review Series. So until next time, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, thanks for listening. And I just want to take this opportunity to say many congratulations to Asia for not only on their 40th anniversary as a band, but for 40 years of tremendous music. You will go down as one of the greatest and most legendary supergroups of all time. And I also want to say a special thank you to the late great John Wetton for all of the great music you have given us over the years. Your spirit, your memory, and your legacy will live on, and may you rest in peace.